What's going on, everybody? It's Markel here, also known as CutsbyCoast. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys an Anthony Davis type haircut. I believe this is one of the most popular haircuts of 2020, and I recorded this once, but it was back with my old camera setup. So we're going to start off by picking the hair out, and you always want to make sure that whenever you're going to shape up a client's hair that it's all the way picked out. If you shape it up without it being all the way picked out, no telling what the shape is truly going to look like. So let's go ahead and pick the hair out, and then we can go in and freehand this with the lever all the way closed. You want to make sure that you are very steady when doing this step. This is honestly hardly different than whenever you're shaping a beard. So if you guys know how to shape a beard, you really know how to shape a fro. If you guys would like for me to bring you more great content, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and hit that subscribe button as well. Typically, I don't usually shape up the front unless I know the client isn't gonna go for braids or anything in the future. We've been doing this haircut for a while, so I know he is not. So as long as your client is not trying to go for braids or dreads or anything like that, you are good to shape up the front of the hair. And then one of the biggest gems I have for you guys when shaping up a fro, a beard, anything, make sure that you can take your fingers and brace yourself. And you know, if you need to use his fro as help to brace you, you can do that, because at the end of the day, he wants his haircut to be perfectly shaped. So if you need to do that, but also what I do here on the sides is I always hold their forehead so that if they move, I have control of the head. I'm just gonna throw this in here really quick for those of you that are just wanting to see the haircut and don't really care how to cut hair. If you're gonna ask your barber for this haircut, you wanna ask for a shaped up fro, and you wanna ask for a high taper on the sides with a slant part in the front. Now we're going to take some water and saturate his hair, and then we're going to take some product. We're going to use some level 3 Brilliant Cream, and we're just going to work it into his scalp, you know, get it down to the root, and then we'll take the curl sponge and twist up the rest of his hair. Watch me, you already know the first step in doing a lineup is holding up the face shield, putting some hairspray or spritz on the hairline, and then brushing all the hair in place. The middle point is the highest point where his hair starts to grow. As you can tell, his corners grow extremely low. So we're going to start from the middle and just make sure that we move to the left side first. We'll hit the sidebars, and then we'll come back and move over to the right side and hit the other sidebar. Our front edge up, we can go ahead and set in this part, and of course this part is what sets it apart from just a regular tapered fro. This is what makes it the Anthony Davis haircut, because he rocks this, not a hook part, but it's, I like to call it a slant part into the fro. So once we get this top part nice and sharp, we can flip our trimmers upside down, and we can really make sure that the part is nice and bold or bald. But you know, you want it to be bold so that it's popping out, and you also want to make sure that no hair is going to hang over this part. And I'm sure from right here you guys can see why I do a high taper. We wouldn't have a lot of room to move if we kept it with the C-cup. Now we're going to come in with our open lever. We're really going to take up about half the distance to his fro. This part is the part that we need to make sure is blurry. The transition, we can get into the fro a little bit to make sure this haircut is complete. Brush the hair back down and cut the hair all back to open lever again, just to make sure that we are working with a clear section. Now we can go back with the lever halfway open, bumping almost all the way up to that line, but still creating a little bit of separation. And now taking the lever all the way closed, just dancing at the line that we put in with the trimmer. Now with the one guard all the way open, we can flick into this fro. If we need to, we can use a 1.5, but I think a 1 open is gonna do us justice here. So now we're gonna fade down the same thing. You can tell his hair is wanting to curl up on us, so just make sure that you keep brushing the hair as you're cutting the hair. So we're gonna take the half guard halfway open, flicking up about midway into that 1 open section. We're gonna treat that as our 1 guard with the lever closed. Now we can close it all the way up, and we can really go in and just attack certain spots with the corner of our blade. You can tell his hair is very dense, and like I said, we don't have a huge surface area to work with, so we're just gonna use the corner of our blade, and you can really see how I'm attacking this. And guys, the rest of this left side is just making sure that you are cutting the color and making sure you get that perfect gradiency for you and your client. Now we are done with the left side. We can go ahead and set in our bald line in the back, and we'll go ahead and bald him all the way out. Now we can go in and set in our open section about 3/4 to 1 inch high. We don't want to get too high into it, but also we want to make sure that we do raise this taper up to about the mid-length of his ear. After you do the lever all the way open, I'm gonna go ahead and take the lever all the way closed and do it a little bit differently, and I'm just gonna slightly bump up this back taper. Now we are with the lever halfway open, bump it all the way up to that line, and we can just play with the lever in between to make sure that we get that nice transition. The same steps as the back as we did on the side. We're gonna take the 1 guard all the way open, flicking into this weight. Like I said, you can use a 1.5 if you need the help on the blend area, but you can also take the lever all the way closed and freehand into that. So taking down from here, we're not trying to fade any higher than this. We went ahead and took the 1 guard with the lever all the way closed. Next, we'll go ahead and take the half guard halfway open, start attacking the middle of this transition. Instead of doing a 1.5 guard, I did decide to go ahead and close the lever all the way up and freehand into this fro. As you can tell, it's really creating a smooth transition. If we need to, we'll grab our guards and go back in, but I think this did well for us. Let's go ahead and start balding him out on this last side, and we'll show you how I brought this haircut all the way together. I apologize for some of my angles. Sometimes this right side of their head is hard for me to do because technically my arm wants to be in the way of the camera. I left it in here because you can see enough of what I'm doing, but also it gives me a little bit of time to talk to you guys. I want to say thank you to all you guys that watch my videos every single week. I appreciate you guys. I wish I knew exactly which ones of you always watched. I can go through my comments and pick out a handful of you guys, and I feel like you guys deserve a giveaway separate on your own because you guys are the ones that are helping me achieve all my goals. So I want to say thank you to everybody that watches me every single week. And this is just one of them things from me to you guys. Honestly, lately I've been hearing a lot of the JRL hype in the Tomb45 Facebook group. and I don't know what it is. I really don't like those clippers. I think these ergos are the truth. So if you guys are looking to buy any new clippers, I would definitely hop on the ergo train. Now that we have finished the taper, we're gonna go ahead and start lining him up, and it will expose if there's any dark spots around the hairline areas that we need to go back in and lighten up. And you can tell I'm trying to make sure that my arch at the front of his taper looks perfect. But now that we have done that, we can go back here and start. The same thing as a typical hairline. You wanna start at the point where the hair first starts growing fluently. Now we established that, and we can now connect the arch to the back slant. Now we're gonna go in with some enhancement. I am using the Tomb45 no drip with the Sean Cuts Hair color enhancement card and the Beam Team XL compressor. This is absolutely the deadliest trio when it comes to color enhancement. I feel like you need all three of these to create a perfect look whenever you're going to enhance somebody's hairline. And now that I've done that, I'm gonna go back in with some fibers and also give it a little bit more of a natural look. I learned that one from Get Beam, aka Poppy Beam. Big ups to him. And guys, this was the before. I don't know if you guys have remembered. This is actually a crazy transformation. And here is the after, guys. If you guys watch this whole video, I appreciate you guys. Leave me a like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's Markel, also known as CutsbyCoast, and I'm out of here.